What's up? I'm back with part 2 of relationships. Now, I already covered the do's in relationships. If you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch the do's. Now, this is going to be the don'ts part of the relationship. There's a lot of don'ts that guys and girls have that they say, well, he shouldn't do this or she shouldn't do that. And most of the time, it's probably like petty stuff, really, that we just need to just get over it, and just accept the fact that, hey, that person is just how he is or she is. That's her pet peeve or that's his pet peeve. That's part of getting to know each other. That's part of being in a relationship, learning how to cope with each other's differences. So I'm not going to cover every single don'ts of a relationship, but I'm going to cover the main ones. Now, again, like I said in my first video, these are from my experiences, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and just go with the first one. The first one is a major one. Now, I'm not putting these in like, I'm not categorizing them in like levels, because again, there's no real like, this is more important than this and whatever. But the main one, this one, I would say is actually if you do this, then there's no point in having a relationship because it's just bound to fail. Is taking God out of your relationship, taking God out of the center of the relationship. If you do that, I don't even know what else to say. Like, you do that, I'm sorry, it's over. It's done with. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't. No matter how good looking you are, no matter how much money you make, you will not be able to have a successful relationship if you take God out of it. So that's all I'm going to say for that, because there's really no other explanation for that. The second thing is, do not be conceited. Do not be cocky, all right? If you're trying to get into a relationship and all you do is talk about yourself, then might as well date yourself. Don't be dating someone and talk about yourself. No, the point of a relationship is to get to know someone else rather than yourself. Because quite honestly, like, if I was dating someone and all I hear about is her, and I can't even put one thing about myself or one thing about how my day was, it gets annoying, honestly. And so, don't be conceited, guys. Like, if you have trouble with that, if you're struggling with that, do not even think about getting in a relationship. If you struggle with trying not to be... They're looking for me. Oh boy. Don't worry, I'm all safe. Jesus is my protector. So if you're self-centered and you're struggling with being selfish or whatever, if you're struggling with that, then before you even think about being in a relationship, you just gotta ask God to change you. Like, don't even bother trying to get in a relationship. You gotta learn how to serve others than yourself. So don't be conceited. It's really not attractive. It's not in any way cute, hot, whatever. It's not. It's stupid. Sorry. The other thing is, do not flirt, okay? And this goes for both girls and guys, not just girls, okay? Because if you're trying to get in a relationship but you're flirting with like 10 other people while talking to that person, that just shows you're unfaithful. It shows that it's not showing that you have experience. And that brings up a small point I'm going to make. I've said it on Facebook, and I'm going to say it on here so that more people can understand this. The more relationships you've been through does not show that you have experience. It shows that you lack commitment. It shows that you lack being a consistent person. But if you're constantly going through relationships like you go through socks, like, it shows that you don't have a stability in your life. It obviously shows that you don't have Jesus in your life, because if Jesus is in your life, you have that cornerstone. He's your cornerstone. He's the rock that you can sit on, and you have a foundation in your life. You have a stability to where you know what you stand for. Now, I understand that sometimes relationships mess up. They go downhill. And a lot of times it's because we probably didn't pray on it. We didn't think it through. And we have to suffer the consequences. So I understand that. And if you have to make a decision where spiritually you're dying and you're not growing in God or just growing in a relationship, then I mean, you've got to make that decision. You've got to make that choice of, okay, do I want to grow in Christ, or do I want to just stay at this plateau and just be with this guy or this girl who I think is the one? You know, there comes a point where you've got to make a decision. And yes, we are in this day and age where people will criticize you no matter what you do. Whether it's a good decision or a bad decision, they're going to criticize you. But we're not here to be judged by them. We're here to be judged by God and by how He sees fit. So if God is telling you, get out of that relationship, then we've got to get out. And we've got to break ourselves free from what's holding us back. A lot of times it's not about, you know, it's not about being fully committed and going through all those trouble. No, it's learning how to pull yourself away from what's holding you back. That's actually the test that a lot of times we don't see, that God actually puts us through, is that He doesn't put us through the fire so that we can learn how to, you know, go through it. No, He sometimes puts us through the fire so that whatever's bounding us can be broken, so that we can be able to come out of the fire and say, I'm free. So going back to what I was saying earlier, I know I kind of went off topic. I needed to get that point across. But going back to what I was saying, if you're in a relationship, do not be flirting with other people. All right? Do not be flirting with other people, because it shows that you're not committed. It obviously shows you're not committed to someone you have already, that God has blessed you with. So if you're flirting, and if you find that your boyfriend, your girlfriend is flirting, I'm not saying to break it off right then and there, but, you know, talk to them about it and say, hey, what's up? You know, put them on the spot and be like, hey, do I not exist to you? To where you have to flirt with other people? You know, and if they don't get the hint, I'm sorry, you've got to make a decision. You know, like I said earlier, either you deal with your own stubbornness and say, well, I just want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be single. All right, if you want to deal with that, then deal with your other person that's flirting with 10 other people. You can either deal with that, or you can decide, you know what, I have a certain level of respect for myself, and I'm not going to let you do that to me. I'm moving on. Bye. The other thing is, do not feel that your boyfriend or girlfriend has to constantly talk to you. Now, what I mean by that is, like, if they don't text you a certain time, or if they don't respond right away, this is actually 2 points I'm going to make. You know, don't feel like you have to always constantly talk to each other. But the other thing is, don't assume. Like, if he or she is not texting you back as quick as you want him to, or her want to, don't assume that they don't want to talk to you. Ever thought that maybe, like, they're busy? I mean, they do have their own lives to live. They have their own, you know, things they have to do. They have their own agenda. It shows a bit of trust. You know, if they reply saying, hey, I'm going to be busy, I'll try to text you, you know, as soon as I can, but I'm going to be busy, you know, whatever. Again, it kind of goes back to what I was on the do's, you know, communicate. But if they do that, then don't give them, like, don't make them feel bad because they're not going to reply back quickly. Just say, okay, all right, well, I love you, and, you know, text me when you can. That's it. Like, if they don't text you in the morning, oh my God, the world is not going to end. Be the first one to text them. Don't feel like they always have to text you. No, when you start assuming things, then you allow the devil to actually start putting these thoughts in your mind, and you begin to start doubting, and you begin to start questioning this, and it just becomes so chaotic here and spiritually. Assuming is the worst thing that you can ever do. Now, yeah, and going back to the constantly talking part, like, learn how to be independent, all right? If they got their own agenda, they got their to-do list for the day, understand that and learn how to do stuff on your own. Don't feel so dependent on them that you cannot, oh my God, he's not texting me. I don't know what to do. I can't do anything. Read the word. Or do something productive. You know, learn how to be on your own. Because, like, if you're planning on getting married to that person, then you really shouldn't have to worry about it, because like, okay, I know in the future I'm gonna be with him or her for the rest of my life. I don't have to worry about it. Like, this is my time to get myself straight. You know, if he's busy or if she's busy, this is my time to do what I need to do. But don't feel like you always have to be talking to each other, because again, like I said earlier, like if you keep talking to each other, you get to that comfortable stage, but that comfort stage kind of gets like dull, to where it's the same conversation, it's the same thing all the time. So don't assume, and don't constantly talk to each other. Learn how to be independent. Learn how to be independent, and don't feel like if you guys don't talk to each other for like a day, or you guys don't talk to each other for like 30 minutes, that your relationship is over. No. One thing is like, don't hold any grudges against each other. Like, don't hold anything that he or she did to you. Like, because in the relationships, you're going to have arguments, you're going to have faults. That is a given. That's normal. But it's one thing to have arguments and whatnot, but it's another thing to hold on to those arguments. You know, if you start harboring those memories or those arguments, then it gets to the point where like you won't be able to forgive each other, and that's where things start going downhill. But it goes back to the first thing I said. If you have God in the center of it, then you guys will be able to forgive each other. Like, okay, yeah, we're human, we make mistakes. Forgive each other and press on. Don't hold on to the grudges. Don't hold on to what they did, because again, when you do that, you start tearing down your relationship slowly. It may not be like right then and there, but ever so slowly you will start to notice. If you're not careful, you will start to notice your relationship downfall. So do not hold any grudges. Forgive each other. You know, let go of whatever they did wrong, because who are you to judge that they make mistakes towards you? I mean, we make mistakes towards God all the time, but he always forgives us. So why shouldn't we do the same to our significant other, you know? Alright, so there's a lot more don'ts that I'm sure I can cover. If you guys actually have any more don'ts that you feel is important, like, let me know, and I will actually make another video. Like, I will make another don't, like, the don'ts of relationships, you know? But these are the ones that I have put out, that I have thought about, and I feel that they're important. These are all the ones I have, but thank you guys for watching this video. It's a little shorter than the one I had before, but, you know, I can always make another one. So thank you guys for watching this, and hope to be making another video soon. If you guys want any topics, or maybe just something random, you know, if you want me to do something for next week's video, leave in the comments or contact me, and I will definitely make another video for you guys. So thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. God bless.